Yo. Last year I almost died with the devil by my side, being drugged down by drugs, popping pills and getting high. 3017 Bernice Drug Street, it must be a miracle that I made it through that year at 18. Started off great, had a job in a player car, riding round exhaust blasting, you can hear me from afar. Didn't even smoke weed, met this girl named Cherie. She had a blunt and lit it up and then she offered it to me. With no hesitation, I hit it in celebration of my life. Yeah right, got drunk that night. Second girl I ever been with, now the pattern was starting. At my homeboy Jay Carr's homeless apartment. During this me and my ex Shelly started back talking. Sure enough, she was right back at my front door knocking. Turned out that night I was chilling with Cherie, but I loved her so she walked right in and sat across from me. I was chilling on the couch with my boy Jay Carr, feeling blowed. Everything was going good so far, but when I went into the bathroom and I came back around her, she was with Cherie, sniffing downers right off my counter. I tripped out when I saw this shit, it just couldn't be. I couldn't let her go downhill with her life because of me. I started talking to Shelly and straight ignoring Cherie. Infatuated by love and incarcerated by weed. What you expect that night? I had Shelly in my bed, and Cherie was on the couch with Jay Carr giving head. Soon later, Cherie had packed up and moved to Athens. I would've got a number, but I was trash and didn't ask her. Now I know what you're thinking, why won't a girl fucked on weed? I admit it was dumb, but she had the one thing I need. A step forward in my life to move on from my ex, cause the only thing we had anymore was good sex, and the rest disrespect, domestic fights, and profanity. She's conniving and driving me to the point of insanity. Always talking down on me, saying how I'm falling off. How about I love you, we can do this in some uplifting talk. Relations take communication, love, trust, and honesty. Sexual manifestations of you crawling up on me's what you offer me while tossing me a loop in my odyssey. Plus you gotta be a part of my body when I'm in poverty. It ought to be considered a crime for your mind robbery. You roll me till you mold me into abstract pottery. Now I'm really doing bad, popping tabs, sniffing coke. Don't think it hasn't crossed my mind to write a suicide note. I'm depressed at the point to where my image can't lie. I try to rap in the mirror, but I buckle and cry. On the floors where I lie, couldn't get up if I tried. On the phone that night, telling you I'm about to die, but you weren't finna come. You said it'd be alright while I was tripping off a tab and gazing at a strobe light. Oh, that night I walked right out my house at 4 in the morning, rapping to myself to help keep me from moaning while groaning. I'm rolling while strolling down Gilmore Road to Fun Time Pools. People are looking at me crazy like I'm some kind of fool. So I knock, and the secretary comes to the front door, high on meth, selling dope out the back of the store. What you expect is where I worked, I was surrounded by drugs. All I needed was your love, all I needed was a hug. So a crackhead was there for me over my baby. Now you wanna call and talk? What are you, fucking crazy? You weren't my baby, you weren't there for me. I turned to the streets, scraping up pennies, trying to get something to eat. I was led down the wrong path, losing my head. Now for 5 months I'm eating ramen noodles and bread, but only half of that I gave half the pack to my dogs, Devo and Bone, so I wouldn't feel alone in the fall. There was 2 other people that were there for me. One sold coke and the other sold weed. Lil J was the coke dealer on my street. Friday night we get high and wreck tight ass beats. The other person, I can't mention his name in the song, but he was there on the street for me all year long. He picked me up when I was down and put money in my pocket. He taught me how to keep my game tight and lock it. When I was really doing bad and had no food in my belly, he bought me cigarettes and brought me to McAllister's Deli. Then we would come back to his crib and watch rap DVDs, B3, Fight Club, and Fade to Black Jay-Z. The only thing that uplifted my spirit has gotta be the same sign, same rhyme, same group, Black Property. Now I thought I had my foot in the door. A big step, loaded into the group, how to produce a big text. Double deck hamburgers is what I was eating now. Southside, Green Street, fish fries at his house. But it had all turned around and I had left the group. People were getting big-headed and physically letting loose. You came into my house, you threw me off my couch, you ran me out, talking about that you was about to knock me out. You was my homie, but you showed me a side that wouldn't change. A snake that couldn't take me lyrically in your range. So you robbed me and assaulted me during the battle against your cousin Fred T, cause he would've got rattled. Around that time I weighed about 150, bitch. You were 230 something and you went off and hit me, trying to tell me to forget my ex and leave her alone. And come to find out you were hollering at her over the phone. Didn't matter anyway, she was a hoe ass bitch. Cheated on me with 2 guys I knew and balled with. All this wouldn't fit into my mental capacity. The devil was after me and my life was a tragedy. Found myself across town around 4 in the morning with crackheads I didn't know, getting all my stuff stolen. Lil J had come around and knocked some sense into my head. Said that I was a true baller, but I was about to be dead. He was sniffing coke, but what he said wasn't a joke. Now instead of my probation, my life might get revoked. Then it hit me, I didn't need new girls in my life. I didn't need weed and beer to keep me happy at night. I didn't need help from some crackhead con artist. I didn't need a backstabbing friend acting the hardest. I was on the same track that just kept revolving. I was numbing my pain, but wasn't solving my problems. Now my $7,000 car was $500, and my duplex was trash with glass and Budweiser bottles. I was dead broke with no hope or food on my stove. I destroyed my whole life by sitting around and getting blow flow, just so you know, it can happen just like 1, 2, 3. One hit, one blunt from a girl named Serene. Now I was where I didn't want to be, lost in the fog. I would die if I didn't turn and give it to God. So every night instead of getting high, I pounded the dirt, running 1 mile from my house up to the church. Then I would kneel outside of it and just plead what I felt, praying for God's mercy, crying out for some help. He's the reason that a razor never touched my wrist. He's the reason that I'm still here writing you this. He's the reason that I've gained the strength to trash my blunts. He's the reason that I've been drug free for 8 months. Now I've gained everything I lost and more on the side. Eliminated all my demons and my Lord was my guide. I got a brand new life, living in a better world. A wonderful, kind family and 2 beautiful girls. I'm back to my full athleticism, holding it down. And I've gained around 15 to 20 more pounds. It wasn't luck, God pulled me out from where I was stuck. I got another car and guess what? My windows roll up. And if I could do it all again, I wouldn't change a thing. The reason being is what I heard from a lyrical king who said if you went back in time and tried to make things right, you couldn't fully appreciate what you've accomplished in life. But I'm still slaying demons every day that I live, being forgiven for my sins, for all the love that I give. So if you ask me about my past, I'll say it doesn't exist. But as for 3017 Beneath Street, I'll never forget Ill Mind.